Hello everyone, welcome to Physio Gainer channel. As you all know, the channel is all about the physio related topics and we are continuing the assessment portion only. Today's topic of discussion is personal history and many thing more, like all the histories only, and hopefully we'll go and complete this topic today, the history taking part. So in personal history, why the personal history is important? Because every history is important, because maybe due to that history only the patient is suffering today's conditions. So before treating that condition, we get to know the exact cause or exact origin of that conditions. Okay. Personal history involves two things. The first thing is the personal habit and the second is the physical activities. The personal habit and the physical activities are the two things that comes under the personal history. What about the personal habits? The personal habits are what is the habit of sleeping, how the patient sleeps. Is the patient is taking any kind of tobacco? What if it is? If not, then we'll write not relevant. If it is, we'll write yes. The patient is having. What is the duration? कितने टाइम से ले रहे हैं, व्हाट इज द फ्रीक्वेंसी, कितनी, और व्हाट इज द अमाउंट, ड्यूरेशन, फ्रीक्वेंसी एंड अमाउंट. Will know, will write. If the patient say yes, I take tobacco, so what is the duration, frequency and amount, will ask. Now the second is the cigarette smoking. If the patient is taking any kind of cigarette smoking, if not, we'll write not relevant or not taking. If the patient is taking, we'll again go with the same phenomena or the same formula, that is duration, frequency and amount. What is the duration of the cigarette the patient is having, what the frequency, how frequent the patient is taking that a cigarette, and how much amount the patient is taking, that will have to note that, because each and everything is related. Maybe the patient is complaining of the backache, the thoracic region pain, but the pain actually from the lungs region, because these all things comes under lungs. Maybe the patient is having a migraine and the patient say I'm suffering from neck pain. No, so a kind of, it's something we go towards the origin. What about the alcohol? Alcohol is also same, like what is the duration, frequency and the amount. So if not, we'll write not relevant. If it is, we'll go with the duration, frequency and the amount. So these are the personal habit of the patient, along with patient is vegetarian or non-vegetarian. We have to note that, because there are certain things which we lack in our diet, so it is necessary. And these are the things which is very much important. And now we'll move towards the physical activities. Are the physical activities? Like the patient is having occupations. What is the occupational activities? The patient is doing recreational exercise and other. What are the other things the patient is going through? Maybe the patient say that I'm doing gym. Maybe the patient will say that I do my physical exercise. So these all things are also important, which are included in the personal history. We'll move towards the family history. Why the family history is also important? Because certain time it happened that the same condition what the patient is present going through, maybe the patient's family is also having. Maybe it is from the generation to generation. Maybe it can be from generation to generation the patient is having, or the patient family is having. So it is also necessary to know whether the patient, how the patient present is disease, is anyone in the family is also having. Family history, the similar problem in relatives, as I said before also, hereditary disease or consanguinity. So if any kind of disease which the parents is having or the grandparents is having, if the same thing occurring to the patient, then it can be, the precautions can be taken as their parents do. As the parents, we have to guide the parents also and the grandparents also, कि अगर इसको हुआ है तो हमें इसके साथ साथ हमें इसके ओरिजिन को भी ठीक करने की कोशिश करना है. लाइक इनके दादा को हुआ, इनके पेरेंट्स को हुआ, तो विल हैव टू डील विद बोथ. और इफ दे नो, देन विल हैव टू से द सेम प्रिकॉशन हैव टू टेक इन बाय द चाइल्ड ऑल्सो. ठीक है, तो इसलिए कहीं ना कहीं फैमिली हिस्ट्री ज़रूरी होती है. Now we'll talk about the socio-economic history. Why the socio-economic history is also important? Because it's not only the conditions the patient is having, but also how the patient will get through the treatment protocols too. क्या होता है कि जो सोशियो इकोनॉमिक हिस्ट्री होती है पेशेंट की, जो सोशल हिस्ट्री होती है, उससे पता चल जाता है कि पेशेंट को मे बी इस सिचुएशन की वजह से ये पेन हो सकता है, कि जिस सिनेरियो में वो रह रहा है, जिस तरीके से वो पेशेंट रह रहा है, मे बी उसका रीज़न ये हो सकता है, या फिर द पेशेंट कैन नॉट अफोर्ड दिस टाइप ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट टू। इसलिए दोनों टाइप से हमें सोचना है और इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। What are the things we get to know while doing the social history? We get to know the social status of the patient. What is the status of the patient? Whether the patient belongs to a very high-fi family or middle class or a lower class, or it can be a moderate too. Okay. What is the educational status? Whether the patient is aware of any kind of conditions or not, whether the patient family is educated or not, whether patient itself is educated or not, that all things are very much important, because if the patient is not educated, if the patient not aware of any kind, so the patient cannot take the precaution itself. Okay. Here is the Kuppaswamy scale, a most important scale, I think, for the socio-economic status to know is the Kuppaswamy scale, because it's totally about the social status and education. According to it, it make a scale whether the patient falls under what and how the patient is taking care of him or herself. And now while going through that only we can get to know the patient कि किस तरीके से वो रहता है, किस तरीके से खाना खाता है, whether there is a prolonged standing or prolonged sitting, or there is a hand work more or there is a hard work more. So a kind of we get to know each and everything. So therefore the social environment is and history is very much important. Now the last is the environmental history. Some assessment involve this environmental history, some may not, but I think it is important, because whatever the surroundings you are going through, whatever the surrounding you are involved with are कहीं ना कहीं related to your present conditions. ठीक है, तो environment में क्या होगा, जहाँ पे आप काम करते हैं, the environment where you work, the environment where इज अ होम बिलोंग्स टू, बोथ कहीं ना कहीं रिलेटेड होता है, क्योंकि कभी कभी होम से रिलेटेड और होम्स के आसपास के माहौल की वजह से आपको कुछ चीज़ें हो जाती हैं, वर्क प्लेस पे वर्क लोड की वजह से या फिर इन्वायरमेंट की वजह से, या नेगेटिविटी या पॉजिटिविटी वॉट एवर अ काइंड ऑफ, तो उसकी वजह से भी प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो हो सकती है, जो प्रेजेंट कंडीशन आपकी हो रही है, मे बी द पेशेंट मे फॉल अंडर दैट कंडीशन। इसलिए कहीं ना कहीं आजकल तो मैं कह सकती हूँ कि ये चीज़ इंपॉर्टेंट है। Environmental history also plays an important role. So this goes to the end of the topic of a history taking, not all the assessment but the history taking. Hope you get to know. If you get to know, if you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section. If you do not have any doubt, it's very good itself, it means you have understood everything. Let me know the next topic what you want me कि मैं इसके बाद पढ़ाऊँ assessment के बाद, otherwise the line will go with the assessment part only, or if I think I will keep updating with the things too. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching my full videos.